Hey guys, Player1 here. This is my first time doing a Cypher guide. I'm pretty excited about it. We'll jump right into it. For those that don't know me, I've been playing Valorant professionally for over 8 months now. I've been signed with Genji before, and now I just recently signed with version 1. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I think I'm gonna go over attack first, and then we'll go over defense. Alright, so on attack, when you're Cypher, you will want always to be, well, not always, but most often than not, you'll be the one working a main by yourself, right? And sometimes you'll be with your teammates, but as Cypher, what you want to do is make sure the enemy team has no information over this area right here. So that's why you see a lot of these 2 cages against any Cyphers that you play, right? And what this does is, if there's anyone like anchoring side, either elbow, inside, even screens, like just caging this area right there makes you enables you to actually go up ramp. So the defense needs some sort of rotation or defense to take over a ramp. So this is one of Cypher's strongest point, is to actually just take this control by yourself. So either they're gonna have a trip here, either a KJ alarm bot here, or anything. Could be a player too, just playing Evan off, just jiggling this angle. Could be playing this off angle too. So these are all things that you will have to clear as Cypher when you're on the attack. But if you can make sure that someone is covering this, your job is practically done. So you're pulling at least 2 guys over A, unless they're playing a retake with only 1 player over at Evan that's watching a ramp and no one's on site. So yeah, that's your main goal as Cypher, is to apply this kind of pressure. So yeah, so the way to do it, well, you've got a couple of ways to do it. The first one, I would say, it's the passive setup, where you'll see that whenever I play ranks, and even sometimes in pro matches, I will always start with this trip right here in freeze time, and I drop this cam right away. So this cam enables you to see if there's any sort of aggression coming into the A main area, and you can even spot if anyone's playing screens right away from the start to see if they're playing kind of passive on site. So as soon as you see that there's no aggression coming up there, you can use both cages. So to use both cages, make sure you're on the edge of the rocks right here. You aim in between these 2 trees for your first cage, and then on the edge of this building, on the corner of this building, for your second cage. So you can pop up the cam again, make sure no one's in A main, you pop the cage, and you can walk behind them. So once you've done that, there's a couple things can happen. But the main thing that happens is the guy elbow is gonna be spamming your cage. So like, hopefully you're able to dodge the bullet and lurk up a ramp. You don't have to lurk up, but I really like doing it in the first rounds of the map, because it's applying pressure, and they're gonna make sure that no one is actually behind these cages applying pressure. So if you start lurking up in the early rounds, so always be scared of someone going behind this cage. So yeah, so once these cages are up, you've got a couple things you can do. You can just sit here and watch for any aggression within the cage. You can wait until they go down. You can take fights if you feel like it. Like if you're a Vandal player and you're really confident in your aim, you can take these duels. If you know they don't have the money for an op, I think taking this duel as Cypher, and if you're confident within your aim, is actually pretty good to open a site, right? So yeah, so you can do that. Or when these cages are up again, you just drop a trip right here, and you can start lurking up your way to a ramp. And you can clear this corner with the cage. This is pretty good, because when the cages go down, you can clear this corner pretty much safely, because they don't see you. And you have this corner cleared. The only thing is, this is a little bit tricky, because as soon as the barrier goes down, the enemy can be all over this area, right? So you gotta make sure that you stick to the wall as much as possible to cover yourself from this sort of angles right here on the box too. So make sure you stick to the right wall while you do this, and you gotta hit the flick, guys. Like, for real, this is when this cages goes down, you just gotta if there's anyone behind that, you gotta hit your shot. If not, you're probably dead. So if you're able to, let's say you win this fight, you can take a lot more map control. You can just take some space. But if you don't, but even if you kill the guy up here, you can just stay in passive and stay in a main. Like you just got an entry that's and you're lurking by yourself and taking you're applying a lot of pressure basically. So once this is done, and if you don't see anyone, you can start, like what I like to do is just jiggle this angle right here. Sometimes I spam the box whenever I know someone likes to play there, and I just keep jiggle peeking all these angles to actually like take a fight. And if I don't see anyone and walk in my way up, and I make and I stay in this corner and I wait until my team does something to actually try and lurk out through CT spawn or even ropes. Like you're gonna hear the rotation going on, and as soon as like you might hear the guy in screen just leave the bomb site, and you can tell your team, guys, come back A, and then you can start lurking up around Evan and try to make a play and get an entry. So there's that. How do you decide which corner to check when pushing a choke with two corners? Like you have to swing both. It's really hard. It's a gamble. That is a really good question. So Glay's question is, well, let's say, I don't know, I come out of A main, I'm lurking out of A main. Am I watching left or right? It's a gamble. Let's say you see go, okay, I go up heaven. If you go up heaven and you're lurking, you can clear all these angles by yourself. Like you can just do it like this, and you're basically covering all these angles while being safe from the other angle. Like this is how you make your way up ramp. Like you walk in, you try and jiggle all these angles, kinda, you know, and you go with the information that you have. Alright, so this is how you take A main really passively, and now you've got the you've got a more aggressive way to take a ramp. So you want to do this whenever they start smoking this right away. If they start smoking this right away and you go for the long one, the passive one I showed you, it's not gonna work because they might beat your camera by being here and be behind the smoke, right? So if they keep Omen smoking this or Brim smoking this, you can start here, and as soon as the barrier goes down, cage this, drop your cam right here, pop the cam, you don't see there's anything, and now you have control, and you know they're not behind the smoke, so you can pop the cages and do the same thing. Again, you really want to trip here and just do the same thing like I showed you. One thing though, you always want to mind the composition you're against, and that is very true on defender side also, but on attack side, if there's a raise that likes to play Evan and just boom bot through your cages, and she just rush out of the cages while the boom bot ticks, well, this is going to be one thing that's going to be really hurting you as a lurking Cypher. So to prevent this, what you can do is, instead of using both cages, you would just cage both times in a main. And as soon as this is done, you come here instead. You come here, you check, okay, raise is here, no problem, you pop the cage and you take the 1v1. You can do that. A breach stun coming in from site is gonna be shutting you down real quick. So if there's a breach stun coming every now and then in A main, you'd rather have a passive setup. Again, you will just wait with your, you pop the cam here, tape breach stun doesn't matter, you just fall back into behind rock and you hide yourself. You have a trip here if anyone tries to push you, so you can swing off it, and you can take back your cam here, have your cages down, so you pop both cages if they will be there, and you will just lurk behind them. Yeah, you could have an Omen flashing for you, but I don't think Omen flashing a Cypher in A ramp is what you would want. You'd rather have a jet. Like, you can do the same thing. Bring your jet with you. Do the same thing. Condition the enemy team to this kind of pressure, and just tell your jet to come with you. And as soon as she's here, ask Omen for a flash, and she can just swing a ramp. That is a good play also. What I'm showing you guys is how to take A control by yourself. But there's a lot more than this when it's coming to gameplay, because you're gonna have your team behind you sometimes. Behind these cages, you could pop, bro. You know? Behind these cages, you could have 5 people and they don't know about it because you've been doing this all game, and you just pop out of that cage with satchel and dashes and smokes, and this is a really good A take. This is what we call a pop in our team. Well, in every team, this is a pop. Like whenever there's a full aggression, full safe take, like on a flash outside a cage, outside a smoke, that's a pop. It's really good, and it's really good. So yeah, this is how you're gonna work A by yourself. There's a couple way you can work up mid with CYPHER by yourself, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really, really confident in yourself. So you would start sewers, and if the other enemy team doesn't really play mid as much as you think they should, you can just camp this. And if there's no pressure, if you don't see anything, no Sage's wall, no Omen smoke right here, anything, you just go up on this entrance right here, and you can cage here, and have this one here too. So these two cages right here. So to do this one, you just aim at the center of this cloud, like you're gonna see that right here. And this is the lineup with it, so you would just cage, you just aim in between these two clouds kinda, and you pop the cage. So this allows you to just come mid and take this fight on ropes. And if the cage is still up, you can come and clear this corner right here. You'll see the gun sticking out. So if the guy is right here, you can just clear him, and that's it. If you can use both cages again, use both cages to walk up. You could take back your cam as soon as you don't see anything and cam behind it. No one's in rope, you can lurk into your cages and make your way into rope. What you'll see more often than not is a trip right here. And you just by yourself destroying that trip and coming back up the rope is an immense pressure, because now the enemy team now knows that they can get pinched from rope as well as ramp and as a main. So having rope control makes the enemy team way more careful or worried about it, you know? So this is an immense pressure to put by yourself. As for working B, there's not much I can show you. I can show you the strip. If your team decides to do a 5-man rush B, this strip is the only good one I found, honestly. This one is not skippable. There's no way you can skip it. The only thing you can skip it, obviously, is Jet, Omen, Yoru, and Ray's satcheling over. So yeah, there's a couple agent that now can bypass strips, so it's making them more and more useless. But again, you always have to mind the composition you're against. Alright, so so this is for a 5-man rush B or 4-man rush B, it doesn't matter. And if you're getting asked to start B by yourself, you can just hold the push right here. You can apply pressure with your cam. You can mirror nothing in B main, that's fine. You jump spot for the up so you don't get up, right? Nothing, you cage, take back your cam, and now you have B main control. And you could use your cam later on onto this edge to pass to see any B players or event players, and just to gather information. It doesn't matter if they break your cam, you know someone's on site at least that they're not playing retake. So yeah, so those are all things that you can do with CYPHER. You could also just cam here through your cage. While your cage is up, you cage on this wall. You don't cage, sorry. You cam on this wall to clear this brick area, which is pretty good, and you can also spot L and Evan. So this is a pretty great cam. One more thing on attack side that you really want to try and keep is well, I told you that sometimes you will take this fight in A main, and obviously if you take this fight in A main, you don't need the strip right here, right? And so if you manage to get the entry inside, there's most likely gonna be one more guy, and it's gonna be an Evan. So you have one choice. You either take the fight on him, and I really like doing it. If you get the fight on him, that's 2 entries, really insane. You've got the side by yourself, and you've got one more trip. You come into the side. You always want to try to scale on this wall, so you don't go like this. Never go like this, because you're open from both screens off angle and Evan off angle. You always want to go stick to the wall like this, so you don't get killed by anyone holding an off angle in Evan like this or whatever, and you're only open from screen, really, right? So yeah, so you really want to go like this, and you can use your second trip just as a kill trip, as I call them. A kill trip is whenever a trip is bad, but it's actually just people won't expect it. So they're going to be white swinging into that trip, they're going to get highlighted. So let's say you have someone A main who's getting smoked out, and is going to get highlighted through the smoke right here, and is going to be able to shoot it. So this is a really good trip for your team and for yourself, for anyone playing elbow as well. Yeah, it's a pretty good trip. So those are kill trips, and we're gonna go over them on defender side. But same thing on B again. you use one trip at B, and you guys took site like really cleanly, you can use a trip here in CT spawn. Oh my god, I jumped at the same time. Right here, so this is a kill trip again. You guys gonna swing, you might have someone right here just swinging off the trip. Or you can use this trip right here as well. So this trip is really good. People are gonna just come out of rafters swinging and they're gonna get stuck into that trip. Alright, so this is it for attack. So I'll be moving on to defender side. Okay, defender side is way more trickier, but way more fun, guys. Look, when you're on defense with CYPHER, it's your playground, honestly. You'll see me playing in ranks, just dominating with CYPHER. Look, CYPHER on defense is exceptionally strong. So yeah, let's get over it. Me, as for myself on split, I really like playing either A or B. Even CYPHER anchoring sites is insane, honestly. And on A, there's so much things you can do. But one thing you need to keep in mind is the team you're going against. Do they have a raise? And do they have a jet? If so, you're really gonna be careful when you use these kill trips in the choke points, because what's gonna happen is either jet is gonna dash through these strips and just break them for free, or Raze could just nade L or just could nade A main and destroy all these things with one nade or one satchel, because satchel is gonna be blowing your wires, satcheling inside. So this is one thing you really gotta keep in mind. And if so, you would rather use your trips a bit farther inside, so they're way more useful when they're like these, for example, because they won't get killed. And obviously, if you go against a jet and a Raze, it's going to be really hard for you to anchor side by yourself. You can do it with your cage as long as you play well with your cage. There's always a way to do it. But I would rather play like in screens like this with a cage right here to allow me to go through elbow if I want to, or just spam people through the skill trips, because people are gonna get caught in these trips. I swear people are gonna get caught in these trips. In Radiant lobbies, these are guaranteed kill, most likely. So yeah, so I've got a couple trips I really like to do. I'm gonna show on the YouTube video I did, I'm gonna show you some sample of some clips over going in rank. But these trips right here, this one is especially strong. Whoops, CYPHER problems. Okay, got it. This one is especially strong, guys, because even if the jet dashes, what you're gonna see a lot is jet's gonna be smoking flowers, and they're gonna dash on flower. But the thing is, this trip is so low that when she dashes over it. So this one's not gonna get broken. So this is my favorite setup from CYPHER. This trip is part of it for sure. So this is my favorite setup here. Honestly, like, this is one of the greatest setup I've ever found. You're gonna see me doing it a lot in ranks. So your cam, you can use it wherever you want. I really like doing this one because it doesn't matter if it gets broken, you're gonna be anchoring side anyway. So yeah, these setups with these two cages, these trips are really guaranteed kills. So you'd want to start here in the green area, or you can start behind map. It doesn't matter. As soon as you see anything coming up A main, or even if you hear any jet, if you hear jet dash from A main into site, that's perfect. You've got this one way right here. You're gonna kill jet 100% if she dashes far, even with a smoke. And what's gonna be nice is you're gonna be killing jet. Look, you'll be killing jet here for free, and then you're able to swing with it. It's still a one way, and someone's gonna get caught into this trip as well. So as soon as someone hits that trip, you kill it, you pop up your other cage, and now you've got two ways to play it. You can play like behind your cage, try to spam and stuff, or you can just come behind map and hold this angle. But the most important thing for an anchor to do is isolate fight. So what you want to do is just take 1v1s. So this is what these cages are for. You're taking 1v1 with this cage because you're taking 1v1 here, and now you're scaling until one way to take others 1v1. You've got trips. You've got trips to highlight enemies through your one way, through your cage as well. And all you want to do is, all these off angle to take 1v1s. and you're gonna get a lot of multi-kills that way. So this is my favorite A setup for sure. Yeah, I like it a lot, but there's a lot of kill trips on CYPHER, guys. The only thing you gotta remind yourself is that you need to be creative with it. There's a couple trips as well on the air. There's so much thing you can do with CYPHER, guys. It's incredible how this agent is actually really creative. Yeah, I'll show you the one way. So what I like is using both of these at the same time, because what's gonna happen a lot is if they rush A and like they don't have any raise, and even Jet doesn't matter, just gonna dash over this one. You use the one way, and if someone's gonna get caught in that trip, someone else gonna get caught in that trip. You have a cage here to cover yourself, and you've got 2 free kills here over these cages, and you've got your one way to actually kill Jet first. So you're gonna get almost 3k guaranteed if they don't break these strips. Alright, so this is the setup I've talked about at A with the 2 trips, the 2 kill trips in A main with a broken cam, right? This cam is bannable. It's not bannable, but it's not allowed in tourney. But I do it sometimes in rank. Yeah, exactly. Look at Phoenix. You can see him shooting. They keep shooting and it just doesn't break. This is me coming off the cam. So here, jet dash, dude, perfect scenario. Jet dash. You pop the one way and you isolate the fight. You take 1v1. So this is it. First 1v1, right? We shoot the jet. I see other feet. Other one is eating my trip again, and I'm just going on for another 1v1. So this is how you're gonna anchor your site. You want to take these 1v1s that are favorable to you. Yeah, this one, same setup. I don't have my cam. What's gonna be my Q here to pop down? Jet again. One hits the trip. Pop the second one. They line up behind the trip. That's perfect for me. And there you go. What is this one? Oh, so this is again not a good cam. I don't recommend it. If you want a cam that's similar to this, I would recommend putting it on the pillar right here. It doesn't matter. But Blind Flower, same setup again.
They're off heaven.
When it's the first, I got a cage to fall back. I want to fall back, but I see my jet jumping in. At this point, this guy, I don't know what he's doing, so I just don't mind him. He dies, I don't mind. And here it is 3v4, guys. The only thing you want to do here is isolate fight again. Kevin, I don't even play 7, I just went all 15 minutes. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, man. Take 1v1s. That's it. You just gotta take these 1v1. There it is. So you're gonna get a lot of people just saying that you're good, but actually you're just playing right. So yeah. The one way is pretty easy. You just stand under it. And you just throw your cage, like on the... I'm not sure how to say it, but nah, I don't have the word in English to say it basically. But you just throw it into the hole. my bad, guys. All right. Also, you can this is for you art anchoring site, obviously. Now you can play retake on site though. This is a really great setup as well. Where's my cam? It's right here. You can use both of these cages. You could have one here instead, doesn't matter. This one is pretty strong. And you wanna, with your cam, you see this right, okay, so this is something else. Make sure that your video settings are on med low. So this enables you to have way more details for lineups. So let's say that your team wants to, they want a trip in rope and you play B. You can come here and without losing too much time, you see this little line right here. And this is the perfect height to just drop your trip and just come back to B and have a time to set up as well. So yeah, those are little trips that actually, little tips that really like gonna up your game. Because in a team environment or in a scrim environment, the freeze time is pretty low when you have to set up a trip at ropes and come back B. So yeah, and now if you play retake on A, I really like this cam right here. As I was saying, you see a little, there's a black part here on the wall. I see it as a nose. Those are the two eyes. This is the nose. And you just jump. For those who don't know the trick, with Cypher, to have an eye or cam, you're gonna be as high as you want, right? So the higher your model is, the higher you'll be able to put your cam. And to make sure that you put it as high as you can, you like as soon as it gets to blue, you see it goes red, blue. As soon as it's blue, you jump and you put it. So this is how you put eye cams with Cypher. And what this cam enables you to do is that you're gonna see anybody coming out of a main with this cam, and you're gonna see anybody trying to lurk up a ramp. And you're gonna see their feet at the same time. So what's really fun playing retake and having this cam is you can play off this cam. You see the guy walking up, and you can just swing him, and you're already ready. That you know he's there, so you should be winning this fight. And if you win in this fight, if you fight like this, Ivan, I would recommend a cage here, so that you can kill the guy, cage back, and you fall back, and you just play the man advantage. You can still fight. You can keep fighting. It doesn't matter, but it's up to you. It's up to you, honestly. But as I was saying, you can play in screens with this cam, so you have control over a ramp as well and Evan, and you can see anybody coming out of a main. And what's really fun with these skill trips right here, both of these, is that people, like I said, are going to be scaling on the left side of here. And you want to make sure that you play on the left side here to actually be able to kill these people on the wall. So you would just stay on your cam, pop this perfect scenario, guys. Omen smokes here for you, or Brim smokes here for you. The enemy Brim or the enemy Omen, and you don't have to pop your cage. This is perfect. So you can keep your cage for the retake. So you're getting smoked out by the enemy team, but actually what is gonna enable you is to kill them freely. So you just play off this strip. You can be a bit wider. Don't get spammed. Like, don't be open from aim in unless you're spamming it. But honestly, just play off your trips, and this is how you're gonna get easy kills. And yeah, and if you get 1 or 2 kills freely, it should be a 5v3 now, and you should be securing the round without dying. So you would just stuck here and wait until your team rotates to you to enable the retake. So as soon as the retake starts, you can pop this cage to cover a main, and don't use this cage, honestly, if you have a lot of teammate in. Just use a flash here, or a breach stun, or an omen flash, whatever you guys have, and you just run out and you retake the site. So this is how I play A, honestly. I like this spot as well, behind flower. It's pretty great. With a cage right here, you would use this trip right here and 1 trip in A main. And you would get, sometimes I get a lot of double kills that way. Just as soon as someone hits the trip, you pull this cage, kill him, and you fall back walking or by running, it doesn't matter. And someone else is gonna get caught into that trip right here as well. Sorry, this one. But yeah, so a lot of multi-kills potential with Cypher over at A. I think it's his strongest side for sure. So yeah. Alright, moving on to B. B is a little bit more trickier because you don't have much setup you can do. There's 3 cam at B that's really good on Cypher. First one is right here. You start here on rafters, put down this cam. You've seen it for sure. This cam allows you to see people's feet before they come in. So you can use it as well with the one-way. So to use the one-way, you stick to the wall, aim at the brown wood thing right here, and you just throw it in the center of it, just like that. So if you see anybody, like, since the new patch, it is a bit harder to use this one way because of these stairs. So I would recommend, if you're gonna plan on using a one way, to start backside. And as soon as you see, so this is the thing. I don't think this cam is good if you plan on using this one way, but it's up to you. If they rush, it's gonna work. Just pop the cam, and sorry, not the cam, the cage, and you can take one way fight here. But if you're gonna plan on using this one way, I would recommend using this cam instead. This cam right here. So this cam makes them more committed to be main. So you're gonna see them as soon as they're here, pretty much. So if you pop the cage, the one-way cage, let me drop some here. So yeah, so if you see anybody that's already committed to be main, you can just pop the cage and take it. This is a free kill, obviously. So you would get one and just get away with it. With this cage, I usually keep one ear for myself to enable me to just cross back or just play behind it. And yeah, so this is the second cam for B. So one here, and the other one is right here. It's basically the same one. It's a bit harder to shoot than this one because it's way more, again, you're way more committed to it. The only thing is, if you plan on using this one for to use the one way, I think it's a bit too late because you're gonna see Jet right here or Raze, and she's already gonna be dashing on you. So yeah, for the one way, I really could recommend using this one or this one. But this one is useful as well. You can play, like, you could have trips anywhere on site and play off them. I'm gonna show you B trips. B trips are actually insane. My favorite one, this one. It gets spammed a lot, but it works a lot in rank when they're not expecting you to be B. Again, if you go against a Jet, yeah, I'm gonna go over Tower or Evan after. But yeah, so this trip is gonna get spammed a lot. It's gonna get destroyed a lot. So I wouldn't recommend it using it against any Jet or Raze composition. So instead, you've got this one. This is the best trip on. This is the best trip on Split for sure, guys. So you see this right here. You see it's literally in the middle of that. So it's right here. So it's the can right here. And this trip will never get destroyed. I've never seen it get destroyed. Sometimes Jet dashes, if she dashes from far, like from here, she's gonna destroy it. But this trip is actually just insane, honestly. People are gonna get caught in that. You're gonna get a lot of free kills with it. If you're not able to do it in freeze time, just use this one. Same thing, make sure it's that box. I use this one also a lot whenever I anchor B. So these are all trips that you can use on B. And there's also, like, you can do some gimmicky ones to kind of remove the thing, but where is it? I don't recall it, but something like this. And people would just swing in that. So you would have your cage here. You could have double cage here. Use the cage. You see them coming out, and you have two cage, so you have 14 seconds or 16 seconds to actually, like, get some free kills with your trips, and you're gonna see them on your cam, and they're gonna hit the trips, and they're gonna be highlighted. They're gonna be rushing you through the cage, and yeah, you're gonna get some kills for sure. So that's how you'd be anchoring B. All right, so this setup I've talked about again. I see a CYPHER. Wait, let me preface this again. So I hear a Phoenix ult. I'm expecting him to hit the trip, so I'm popping the cages as soon as I kill him. I see the Jet getting highlighted by the trip I've talked about, the best trip in the world. So she hits the trip, insta killer, and now I hear a lot of cages sound, so I know they're in my cages. So I spam the cage. Make sure that when you spam the cage, you keep yourself some ammo. I have 4 bullets there. I'm confident with 4 bullets. I don't know about you. But that's it. I hear cages again. So at this point, it's a 5v1. 5v2 actually. You just got 3 kills while they're running to your side. You should be winning this round. If you don't win it, it's not your fault. Your team sucks. I really like having double cage here. I like having this one way as well. There's also a L setup that I like. So basically what you want to do is you'd hide L. So you'd expect a B rush and you want them to get highlighted. So I would use this right here. 1 cage, double cage right here. And you'd use this right here. You would just hide into this corner, and then the guy's gonna get caught into the trip, and you have a free kill basically. And then you can just come out with cage here. So with this one, I would use a trip right here, like this one, and this other trip as well. So it enables you to actually play around them. You know, if anyone is the trip right here, this trip is useless, by the way, if they have a sage, because they're going to be walling this. So yeah, so you have double cages here. Someone is that trip right here. You kill one, and then you just hide into the corner. You tuck. You hold your clothes, because someone's. If you hear the cage popping, like if you're like the cages sound, people are gonna swing you from here. But like as soon as if you don't hear any cages sound, you just tuck here and you wait until someone hits the trip. As soon as someone hits the trip, you kill him, and you can either re-swing or you can hide and wait until your team comes in. So that's pretty much how you can play B as Cypher. I really like playing backside. You can play default as well. You can play behind this. You see right here? This is an insane. You can shoot people through this little thing right here. So I would just use this. Thanks for the prime, guys. Really appreciate it. Alright, so this is it for B, and now we're gonna move on to tower. It's gonna be the last part of the guide. It's already been 40 minutes. I don't know how I'm gonna be editing those. I feel like everything I've given is actually really useful. So I've got 2 cams in tower. That's pretty great. The first one is this one. So this one is pretty high. What's really nice about it is that sometimes people are going to be smoking this really badly, and you're good. Well, maybe not with a cage, but sometimes you'll be able to see over the smokes, so you can tell if anyone is crossing into ropes. But it's pretty much for a mid info. It's gonna get broken if they come and contest this, which they will. Don't expect this camera to live, but you can play like around it with. I don't know, you could play something like this right here. It's just for information. But if you want to play if you want to play Evan, I'm gonna show you something really nice. This is what I used to do. It's been a while since I've done it in rank, but I should start redoing it again. You use this cam right away, and you would tell your team, guys, I'm playing mid this round, and you would solo mid, so you would drop a trip in ropes right away, so your team can stack site. It doesn't matter. They can play a retake if they want and have 3B. It doesn't matter, but I would recommend 2-2 here. So yeah, you'd use both these cages, this cam right here, and you would just stay here. You stay on your camera, right? So as soon as people take Evan, you pop the cages, and a lot of time people are gonna walk behind these cage, and they're gonna stand still. And you don't shoot them with the cam. You ping behind the cage, and you spam, and you're gonna get free kills like that. This is a free kill. If anyone stands behind that cage, you just ping, shoot on the ping. So yeah. So this is pretty great. It's gonna work a lot. It's pretty 500 IQ, but you're gonna see it works a lot. If you see that this cam gets broken, maybe try and use it a bit more to behind them like this. It's gonna do the same thing. I think it's just a bit better. You can use this one instead. So yeah. There's a mid trip that I like to do as well. I would usually start rope with this and have a trip right here. You would trip this as soon as you can, and then as soon as the round start, you drop this this trip right here. And if you go against a team that likes to take mid really fast and that they smoke ropes, you're gonna use the smoke for yourself, and someone is gonna be eating the trip. As soon as someone hits that trip, well, you can either wallbang him or you can shoot him freely and just get off sight and just play ropes, you know. So yeah, so now we're gonna go over retake setup. So this is gonna be the last part of the guide. All right, a retake. So we've talked about kill trips, which are trips are not expected, right? Now I'm gonna talk about info trips that you wanna have on retake. So on retake, a really good A retake setup that I like to have is just having this this cage. You can use like both cages here. It doesn't matter. Have a trip in A main as well. Have a trip right here so you don't get flanked, and you can just play in rows. So no one's playing A. It doesn't matter if the enemy team doesn't come A. Well, that's perfect. With this, I would use this cam right here most often than not, but so it doesn't get broken right away. You can use the Evan one as well, which is pretty good. It doesn't matter if you don't get the info on sites, but as soon as you retake with your team, make sure that you pop both these cages. So it's gonna cut off the site. It enables your players from Evan to just come out. So it cut off basically the old site in half. But what you want to play with this is you want to start with your you'd start in ropes with this setup and just have 2 info trips, which means that there's no one behind them. If anything's happened, maybe you're gonna have an omen that's gonna be TPing over the trip, but you will hear it on your cam if you're on your cam. And you would just like stay in ropes, and people are just gonna come down in ropes silently like that, and those are again really easy kills to get. And as soon as you get out, you could save. If you don't have these 2 cages, I would recommend using 1 cage in A main and 1 cage up ramp. And as soon as you get a kill in ropes, you just cage the ramp so you can fall back safely and into a 5v4 retake, and you can play screens and make sure no one's getting around there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Cypher guide on split. So this is it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I'll be replying to every of your comments in the comment section below, and make sure you follow me on social. See you next time, boys. Thank you.